Hello and welcome back to Cars of Glasgow. I'm Thomas and today this is going to be my third Lexus LBX video, so stay tuned for this. If you are watching and interested in more in depth, go check out the other Lexus LBX videos. Because the car's been super popular here in the UK and I've had the opportunity to drive another one, I thought why not take it out when it's actually got some nice weather. We've got a little bit of sunshine today and let's enjoy a Lexus. So for anybody unaware, the Lexus LBX is, I call it Little Boxy Crossover, and it is a Yaris Cross based Lexus crossover, tall hatchback. It's currently the smallest offering and I think it's a really great size for here in the UK. I'm just surrounded by everybody leaving. I came out at a really bad time with like Tiguan's and stuff around me. But so the steering on the Lexus LBX is really light, nimble, direct is probably the words I would use to describe it. You really feel like it's fast in its feet, and that's a really good compliment for the car, because I can't say that about my LC that I drive every day, which is a Lexus Hybrid. That feels heavy, that feels, you know, not as direct. It's a big comfortable cruiser. This is very, like, I don't know, like point and steer. I'm really impressed with like how quickly you can like point in traffic and things like that, and it just goes. And I really enjoy driving it in a more urban setting. It does have things like adaptive cruise control, and we've got a lovely Copper Crest RX just drive past us there, and an IS250. Ooh, double X's there. And I really enjoy, as I said, driving it in kind of urban environments, stop-start traffic. It hits potholes and absorbs the lumps and the bumps really well, which more so again, I'm comparing it against other vehicles in its class, which is pretty much on par with, you know, in terms of absorption, you know, vibration. I did drive the Yaris Cross and I was really fond of that car. And if you've seen my last LBX video, I did love that as well. I'm going to drive it today in the dry. The front wheel drive, standard all-wheel drive is optional, but I would probably just save the money and go front wheel drive for this kind of classic vehicle. But yeah, like you're probably seeing a little bit of vibration there on the screen with the kind of bumps and just the way the road is. But as a passenger in the car, and I've carried some family members in the car, it does a decent job of just absorbing the bumps, which is really great. It kind of helps that the alloy wheels are not 21 inch on the LBX. The powertrain for this is come across from its stablemate, so that is a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder. Does have a little bit more power, with offering 136 brake horsepower claim from what I can see online. About 185 newton meters of torque, and you're looking about 0 to 60 in 9.6 seconds. So you're about over 9 seconds regardless of which, you know, model trim, all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. You're about just over 9 seconds regardless. 103 grams of CO2 per kilometre, so maybe if you're a company car buyer and you don't want to go for a plug-in hybrid or a fully electric vehicle, when you just want a small non-plug-in hybrid like this is, let's just Toyota call it self-charging, then you just put petrol in and go, and don't have to worry about wires and plug-in. 103 grams of CO2. Now this is a premium plus, and that's pretty much middle of the road in terms of trim. There is more premium model that's less, and then I believe the urban one is the base model, which is the kind of attractive £29,000 and change one, which comes in passionate yellow, which is the free colour option, which I've seen in real life, and I think if you lived in sunny Europe, 100% I would get that. This car is finished in cement grey, which is a really nice kind of take on that kind of battleship primer grey that you see in a lot of modern vehicles. It's got a little bit of metallic flake through, so it's not totally flat. From what I can see online, it's £670 uplift for that paint option, and this car is fitted with the sand interior Tahara leather, as they're calling it, which is like the vegan-friendly full leather option. But you know, it does a job, and I quite like how it lifts the cabin up and breaks up some of the black in the car. Overall, very impressed with the car. We're on a recently smooth bit of tarmac just on the way to Waterfoot right now, and I came down here on purpose because I wanted to like show you guys and experience the car without a really rough bit of road. This was resurfaced about 2 weeks ago when I was trying to film the Polestar, so it's quite nice to drive in a smooth bit of road, and we've got some lovely lambs going by us there. Now, climate control is on the touchscreen, but it's always there, so you're able to touch the heated seats. You can touch a button, leave it on auto, your fan speed and all that. And then physically, you've got physical buttons there for your temperature, so you can just go up or down slightly. Physical buttons is a nice blend, so everything's not buried in a touchscreen, and you're not going to feel too alienated jumping into this and thinking you're overwhelmed. We do have touch capacitive buttons on the steering wheel that links up to the heads-up display. That's part of this Premium Plus trim. And higher, I think the Takumi as well will get that, and you run your fingers over it and you can see things like your adaptive cruise control, your safety systems. The left hand side of it allows you to go through things like your volume and your call, change track, etc. It's a good system. I said I've got used to it. At first I felt a little bit alien even to me, but once I've driven this car and various other Lexus products with this system a couple of times now, you get used to it. So I think it's something, if you got into test drive the car maybe twice to get your brain kind of tuned to that. Same thing for the door handles. It's like an electric release. You push the button in, and it is intuitive once you get used to it, because you're pushing in and pushing the door instead of like pulling a handle to pull a door, or push a door, sorry. So that is quite interesting and different, but yeah, it's worth noting that you are going to experience those two different functions, especially if you're coming out of something, say, like a Toyota Yaris Cross or a Lexus UX, for example. You can hear that little high-pitched whine because we're in reverse and it's a hybrid, just to let people know we're in reverse. Very smooth off the uptake. Now put the foot down a little bit, accelerate to 30. And you know what, that's fast enough. What's that, maybe like 2 seconds, something like that to 30. It's fast enough. We've got a nice clear instrument gauge in front of us. And that's the main takeaway from this car, is it's smooth, comfortable, and they've done a great job for this kind of class of car to make it feel premium and luxurious enough and feel like a Lexus product, which is really nice. And there isn't really anybody in the premium sector in this class of car, because it's smaller than, say, a BMW X1, a Mercedes-Benz GLA, Audi Q3, and it's more modern than, say, like Audi Q2, for example. So it does feel like in a class of its own, and premium brands aren't really in this segment. So if you are looking for a car, just bear in mind it is slightly smaller, more compact, but if you're maybe, it'll suit your needs. You know, if you're a young family, empty nesters, that kind of thing, it's perfectly fine for adults up front. The rear seats are a little bit tight, so that is going to be a deal breaker for some, but the caveat as well is the boot space is really good. I think that's a really good, considering the size of the car. It's a good deep kind of squared off size. You can get plants, a small suitcase, etc. in there. Okay, so it's time to give the 2024 Lexus LBX its score. So for comfort, I'm giving it a 6, 7 for features, 4 for fun factor, 6 for curb appeal. Practicality's getting a 5, 5 for performance, quality's getting an 8, range we're getting a 6, and 7 for value. And finally, for safety, we're giving it an 8. The LBX hasn't been Euro NCAP safety tested, however the Yaris Cross scored 5 out of 5. So I'm going to give it an 8, error on the side of caution, that is going to score similar. So that's going to be me for this video. Thank you so much for watching this Lexus LBX video. A little bit longer than I thought it would be, but if you made it this far, why not give me a like, subscribe to the channel below, and I'll see you next video. Ciao.